Good morning, ma'am. This is Hemalata from Computer Science and Engineering Department. Today, my topic is understanding individual behavior at work, role of attitude, perception, and learning. Topic: understanding individual behavior at work, role of attitude, perception, and learning. Outline: Introduction to individual behavior, factors affecting individual behavior, personal factors, psychological factors, organizational factors, environmental factors, introduction to attitude, components of attitude, role of attitude in individual behavior at work, introduction to perception, characteristics of perception, role of perception in individual behavior at work, introduction to learning, role of learning in individual behavior at work, interplay of attitude, perception, and learning. Conclusion: Introduction to individual behavior. Individual behavior is the set of actions performed by an individual. Performance of an organization depends on the individual behavior. Human behavior is affected by numerous factors like attitudes, culture, emotions, ethics, values, etc. Understanding individual behavior helps improve workplace productivity and harmony. It involves examining how attitudes, perceptions, and learning influence employees' actions. It helps predict employee reactions and decision making processes. Factors affecting individual behavior: personal factors, psychological factors. Personal factors: age, gender, education, abilities. Organizational factors: physical facility, leadership, organization structure. Psychological factors: personality, attitudes, values, motivation. Environmental factors: physical, economic, political. Personal factors: age is a very important factor. Performance is dependent on age. With regard to productivity, old age results in reduced productivity. Skill: as he or she grows older in age, age can also be factor of adaptability. Education: systematic knowledge and learning is called education. Increased levels of education serve to increase an individual's expectations about positive outcomes. Ability: ability refers to an individual capacity to perform various tasks in a job. It has a great uh, impact on the performance and satisfaction level of employees. Gender: experts say that in terms of job performance and mental abilities, men and women are equal without any male female differences. Some of the people have leadership, motivation, learning ability, analytical skills. Psychological factors. Personality. Personality generally refers to personal traits like aggressiveness, behavior, and other qualities. Personality has both internal and external elements. Attitude. Attitudes are evaluate statements, either favorable or unfavorable attitudes. Are values interrelated? Values: the fundamental beliefs about the way should behave or communicate are called values. Values affect an individual's personalities as well as his perceptions. Motivation. Motivation is a process that starts with a physiological or psychological deficiency or need that activities, behavior, or a drive that is aimed at a goal or incentive. Organizational factors. Physical facilities. Physical facilities like air conditioning, space lighting, equipment given to employees, environment, etc. also affect the employee's performance and his or her approach towards their work and the organization. Organizational structure and design. Organizational configuration like lines, staff, functional organizations, duties and responsibilities of organization towards its employees that constitute the organizational structure. Leadership. Leadership is defined as a process whereby one individual influences other groups members towards the attainment of defined group or organizational goals. Environmental factors. Economic factors. Economic position of a person influence different aspects of his development like motivational, emotional, social, educational, career, living with others, etc. Political factors. Political factors influence investment, fiscal policy, and job opportunities with the country. Political environment of the country will affect the individual behavior not directly but through several other factors. Introduction to attitude. An attitude is mental state of readiness learned and organized through experience exerting a specific influence on person's response to people, object and situations with which is related. Attitudes are learned dispositions towards aspects of our environment. They may be positively or negatively directed towards certain people, service, or institutions. Components of a attitude comprises is of three elements. They are affective component, cognitive component, behavioral component. Components of attitude. Affective component. The affective component of attitude refers to your feelings or emotions linked to an attitude object. For example, many people are afraid or scared of spiders. So this response is likely to cause you to have a negative attitude towards spiders. Cognitive component. The cognitive component of attitudes refers to the beliefs, thoughts, and attributes that we would associate with an object. Behavioral component. The behavior component of attitudes refers to past behaviors or experience recording an attitude object. The idea that people might infer their attitudes from their previous actions. Role of attitude in individual behavior at work. A job satisfaction. Positive attitudes, higher satisfactions, better performance. Negative attitudes, dissatisfaction, absenteeism, turnover, or low engagement. Motivation and productivity. Employees with constructive attitudes tend to be more motivated, proactive, and committed to goals. Employee believes management cares about development and feels appreciated, so they actively participated in extra projects. Introduction to perception. Perception is an intellectual process of transferring sensory stimuli to meaningful information. It is the process of interpreting something that we see or hear in our mind and use it later to judge and give a verdict on a situation, person, group, etc. Perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. Characteristics of perception. Perception requires sensation. Perception is intimately related to sensation. In order for perception to occur, we must first experience some sensations. Perception involves organization. Perception is not merely a collection of present sensations and memory traces of past experience. It is a meaningful and integrated organization of past and present knowledge. Change is the basis of perception. Perception is always a response to some change or difference in the environment. Example, change in the weather, style of dress, food, etc. is easily pursued. Any change in the normal routine is pursued quickly. Role of perception in individual behavior at work. Attitude and job satisfaction. Positive perception of supervisors, co-workers or policies, job satisfaction. Negative perception, frustration, disengagement or turnover. Motivation and performance. How employees pursue rewards, recognition or fairness affects their motivation. Example, if an employee believes effort is not fairly rewarded, motivation drops even if management thinks the system is fair. Example, performance appraise. Two employees get the same feedback. One sees its constructive, the other sees its criticism. They see subsequent behavior difference. Introduction to learning. Learning is the process of acquiring net knowledge, skills, or attitudes through experience training. It influences behaviors by enabling employees to adapt and improve performance. Continuous learning fosters innovation or resilience in the workplace. Learning in organizational behavior is a crucial process that influences employees' performance, motivations, and overall organization effectiveness. Role of learning in individual behavior at work. Skill development performance. Employees who learn new skills can perform tasks more efficiently. Example, training a new software improves accuracy and productivity. Adaptability to change. Learned behavior helps employees cope with organizational changes. Learning increases flexibility and reduces resistance. Example, leadership programs. Managers learn delegation and communication, better team performance. Feedback systems. Employees learn from performance reviews, improved effectiveness. Interplay of attitude, perception, and learning. These elements interact by influencing individual response decisions. Positive perceptions and attitude enhance learning and adaptability. Conversely, negatively perception attitudes may hinder growth change. Conclusion. Understanding these behavioral components helps in designing effective motivation and development strategies. Managers can foster a positive work environment by addressing attitudes, perceptions, and learning needs. Ultimately, this knowledge contributes to improved individual performance and organizational success. Individual behavior at work is influenced by multiple psychological and environmental factors. Proper management of attitude, perception, and learning enhances job satisfaction, productivity, teamwork, and organizational effectiveness. Thank you.